All right. You're joining us this week on Night Shift Week, which is always a pleasure. Tends to be when I do a couple of videos as well, so kind of go a bit mad. I managed to get to Car Boot on Bank Holiday Monday. I was inspired by the likes of Jarl and Jeff and all the Car Boot collectors and other people who post stuff online, kind of going like, "Wow, about this." So I figured, hell, I'll dodge through. It's on like 12:30 in the afternoon, so it's not too bad to kind of waltz in there. Kind of pretty much this entire lot. I was kind of working it out. I think it's about 36, 37 quid in total this cost us. So anyway, let's address the elephant or turtle in the room. Got this absolutely massive Turtles blimp. This is the newer Nickelodeon Tinamity stuff. Doesn't have any of the flaps or anything, but I'm not a fan of flaps anyway, to be fair. And I suppose when it's a blimp's massively up in the sky, who's going to be able to see a flap from 1,000 yards away? It was under the guy's table. I was like, how much is your blimp? 50p. Get on, then I'll have it. Obviously spent about the next 30 minutes with it tucked under my arm, trying to like make the air come out of it like a flippin' giant inflatable bagpipe. But I suppose it entertained the kids for a bit and stuff. This next thing we have here, which I hadn't realised the kids have been messing with this, we have a TARDIS. I think this is the 11th Doctor, I think, Matt Thingamy-Bob. And looks like the kids have stuffed some things inside. So this TARDIS had this guy, who's from Primeval, Mr. Elite SWAT guy. I like to talk through my microphone. That's up my nose. So there's him and this Pink Ranger, which I think this was like a 3 for £1 thing, so that shouldn't be one of those. But the Imaginext figures, the kids tend to get those, so that's why it's with this, because I do have a TARDIS. And my youngest does quite like Doctor Who, so I've kind of let him have this one, and he's got a little Amy Pond in there too, so not quite sure what kind of party they were having in there, but there you go. So there was those two figures, the TARDIS. I think they wanted £4 for that, but they did have some Monsters in Me Pocket wrestlers, so I grabbed a handful of those, and they also had this bag of connectables, which I was like, oh, hello. I've rebagged it into one of my zip bags. Picked this up. I think they wanted £3.50 for this, £4, £4.50 for the TARDIS, and I think £1 for the handful of Monsters in Me Pockets. Went over, kind of did a deal, got the whole lot for £7, which I thought was pretty reasonable. Like I say, a lot of these are fairly complete. I think there's only a couple of them that's not. I do always like the stretched limo with the chickadee chick in the back. I mean, she's obviously a giant. I mean, look at the size of her compared to the door. It's like, my God, there's a giant in my limousine. And the one thing with this as well, I didn't realise these are ones like McDonald's-y ones, because they're quite a bit smaller. So that's a bit of a curiosity. I'll have to Google that at some point. What else did we get? There was this McDonald's thing, which at first I thought, oh, it's the transforming milkshake thing, but it's a bit too big for that. But no, inside it has the Hamburglar rustling, I guess these rustling burgers there. So there you go. Pretty cool. I do like McDonald's toys, especially like the ones that are kind of based on the McDonald's kind of implements you're using for devouring their product. Like I say, a lot of the bits and pieces I picked up, I did get a tub of Bakugan for £1.50. These people seem to want a lot more money for these days, and I do try and pick them up when I see them for about 20p each, which there's a decent amount in there, and a lot of the cards as well. A couple of these were from other sellers as well. The guy I got this from for 3 for £1, I grabbed possibly 2 of these off him, and other ones in amongst other job lots I picked up. Same with the Gomoti bag here. Again, I think the Power Ranger figure, I got a good 4, 5 or 6 of these from them. There was somebody selling other figures, which I think I got the rest of these from, and a couple of the bits and pieces. So I got a good handful of those. I think I got a big Power Ranger figure and some more wrestlers in me pocket and sports pocket stars, super duper stars. There's a couple I don't have as well, which was like, wow, I've not seen some of those for quite some time, especially this spiky green guy. Look at him through this bag. Yeah, don't take them all out, Paul. Don't give us a good look. No, just kind of wave a thing. Yeah, so yeah, I've not seen him before. He's kind of interesting. Wouldn't like to wrestle him. So like you say, a good bag full of those. One of the first finds I got of the day was this Tom and Jerry Annual. And this other Tom and Jerry Annual. This is 72. I believe that's possibly 71. And stuff. And I always, when I see stuff like that, I think, oh, I quite fancy that. I bet they're going to want like £3, but they were like, 50 pence each. So I'm pretty chuffed to have got those for £1. And then we're down now to kind of the bags of toys, I guess. So here's a biggish bag of toy here. I'm going to pop this open and we'll have a look through what there is. Like I say, some of these came in job lots. So just place you down there. You can have a look at that cat's tail. There we go. I've opened it up. I'm doing this without any assistance of a table. This Granny Gross. It's like in absolutely like really, I was going to say pristine, but she's got a bit of lippy missing there. She's been necking on with somebody or giving them a gobble. But its arms missing, which I did notice at the time, but the rest of it was in such good condition. I figured, I'm not sure if my Granny Gross is not in good condition, and I don't know how easy it would be to swap an arm. But like I say, she's in really nice condition. I got this with this, and I think it was this car, this Hot Wheels old style car. I think I paid 50p for. No, I know for a fact I did. I got this Yu-Gi-Oh guy. He was £1. So £1's not bad for a figure these days at the car boot. £1 each kind of is okay, and I have been picking the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff up when I see it. So pretty pleased to have picked that guy up. This thing, I was kind of first thought, is that Yu-Gi-Oh? But it's not, is it? I think it's Huntic, if I'm remembering correctly. And I do have a few of the Huntic figures. They're pretty interesting sort of line, and I do have an absolute boatload of the cards. We're selling those off dirt cheap. And this guy from Street Sharks, picked him up. One lady wanted 50p for him, so I was like, champion. So he was there with this Rocksteady, pow, pow, pow. But this Rocksteady and a couple of other figures were like on their own. And like meow Marrakesh says, finding vintage turtles these days. She wanted £1 for this guy. And there was also Bucky Hair. So I figured, I've got Bucky Hair. He's not too bad. He's a bit minging, needs a clean, but he's actually not too bad apart from that. She wanted £1 for him, so I kind of picked the three of them up and just said, would you take £2? Which she did. So kind of works out, I guess, like, what, 75 pence each for him and 50 pence for him. I don't know. Something somebody had this guy who's flipping Lily Allen's dad, Gregory Allen, or whatever he's called, or Billy Allen, I don't know. So it's him and this lass and Robin, and she wanted £1 for the three of those. So don't think I have this one in the Robin Hood collection. So those will get bundled in with that. This guy who is Steve Irwin, you don't really see much Steve Irwin stuff about. So you pull his thing down and he zip lines up. A bit more dramatic when you pull it a bit further, but unfortunately my digits cannot stretch that far. So there you go. It's quite a nasty looking snake. So there you go. There was that, and a whole host of other stuff I picked up in a bundle. Biker Mice from Mars Lass. There was a few Biker Mice figures there, and they wanted £2 each for them. And a couple I didn't have, but I definitely didn't have her, so I picked her up. What else did I get? I think I got her, this little mini turtle. Again, this was the guy who had three for £1, and then he had like stuff for £2 and other bits and pieces. There was this Madball's head, which, like, when I saw that, it was one of the first things I saw in the get 3 for £1 thing. So I grabbed that, and I was raking for the body, but nah, couldn't find it. But hey, to find one of these in the wild, it's a bit minging, but I was just like flipping egg. Couldn't believe it. It's the first Madball I found in the wild for many a moon. So I grabbed that. There was this G.I. Joe figure. There was, what else was in there? I think this picked up. This one, which I was like, wow, Dungeons and Dragons, like flipping dwarf. I don't even have this guy either, so I was just like, wow, Dungeons and Dragons in the wild. I'm having him. What else was there? I think this Dragon Ball Z guy, grabbed him. The little mini Beast Man needs a bit of a clean. Grabbed him. I think this guy was this was a different lot. This was from a different lot. I'll put that on one side. There was flipping Dino Rider guy and another Dino Rider guy. What else? Oh yeah, was this mask guy? It's like, what? Actual vintage stuff? The car boot? And this Ugnaught. So I think all those, bar the Beast Man, the Power Ranger one, which I got a bit later on, I paid £4 for all of that. Which, considering that was a, oh hold on, there's a My Little Pony thing. What do you call them? Civilian family. Hold on, I've got 2 bags, man. You've made life hard for yourself here, Paul. There was this as well, which this was in the £1 each thing, so that was £1. That was £2, and then all of that was £1. Which I was like, okay, the guy, he doesn't speak very good English. I'm trying to grab together my second job lot of stuff I got. Let's have a look. God damn it. Right, this Power Ranger figure I wanted £2 for, which I'm pretty sure I don't have this one, which is Zeo, wasn't it? I believe that's a Zeo one. They did have a few other Power Ranger figures, but £2 too much for me, for them. They're probably worth that, but I mean, he's in absolutely immaculate condition. But that was the one I wanted, so I figured I'd pay £2 for him, but she had a cuddly toy, which the boy was after, which she wanted £2 for. I got, like I say, a handful of the Gamotti, a handful of the wrestlers, and something else, and I think I paid £6 for the lot, which was a bit more than I wanted to pay, but hey ho, what are you going to do? I'm not sure if that was there as well. I'm not sure if that was hers or if that was an earlier one. Can't remember. But as soon as I saw this guy, I was like, I think I paid 50p for him, or I got 3 things for £1. This is a line that I really want to get more of. I do have one of the figures in a dinosaur already. I remember seeing these guys moons ago, and I remember kind of thinking they looked so cool, but just didn't pick them up. They were on clearance as well, so like they were dirt cheap. I remember. I didn't get them. Wasn't allowed to pick them up. Like, oh, no way, you're not getting them. They're stupidly expensive to get as well, and mainly from America, so I don't want to pay import taxes. This guy, I think it was him and something else, was £1. Z-Bot, which I believe was either in this lot or this other lot that I'm going to show you. This guy, he wanted £1 for each figure. He had a few of these Action Force figures, but they're all painted up. And I was like, I don't know if I fancy removing all the paint, and I don't really know if I fancy paying £1 for them painted up. So I got him, this guy, which I don't have this guy, and he is absolutely amazing. Again, he's in absolutely pristine condition, and his traffic light power thing works a treat. Boink. There you go. And what else did I get from him? Right, so this lot, so I got this guy. I'm trying to think what this guy's off. He's massive. And he has action feature, which is a kick and a punch. He does punch. He doesn't do a punch. He does. Go on, what are you doing? Oh, there you go. It's not a punch, it's a tricep. Tricep back curl. There was that. There was this, which does have Mighty Max and a thing inside. In the bottom of the box that I got this from had the other thing that goes in this set, which I didn't flip and know that went with this set. So I didn't pick it up, did I? So that would have been complete. There was this guy. I think the Z-Bot, Mr. Plastic Man from Batman Brave and the Bold. He goes with the guy who stretches, kind of the Bane looking guy who kind of supposed to stretch him. I think he's not supposed to be completely naked looking. I think he's supposed to be like, but I think it's the type of material that just perishes and stuff. So I think it's pretty much on its way out. But that, and I think that was it. Possibly him. Maybe I think. And I think I paid £3 for those, which wasn't too bad. Oh, this was in with the £4 lot, and I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know. For some strange reason, Titan AE's just popped in my head, but I don't know what it is. Is it Transformers? I don't know. Does anybody know what that is? Help me. Wifey was selling bits and pieces. This was 50p. Unfortunately, it's got a slight crack on the side there, but it looks about complete. So, well, complete is in terms of it will turn into a robot without legs and arms missing. Obviously, its weapons and stuff aren't there. What we've got left, not much. Car boots would not be car boots without glumps. There was a wifey there who had bags of Moshi Monsters, about 4 in a bag, and a couple of them had Moshi Monsters in, but you wanted £1 for the bags, and I only really wanted them the glumps. So I kind of didn't want to be paying £1 for like one glump and stuff. I'm sure I'll look back on that decision and regret it in future times, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And finally, there was this little Playmobil dude, and he was 10p, so I figured I'd grab him because he's pretty cool. Who doesn't like having two skates on each foot, 2 wheels per skate on each foot? So there you go, canny decent little lot there. Like, I did go to the car boot the week before, and I got up like 3 or 4 times the amount of this stuff. But unfortunately, due to time constraints, I haven't been able to do a video, and most of it's kind of been pretty much processed into my collection. So it'd be pretty tricky to kind of go back through and find it. But if you are on Facebook, I do have a Paul Poo page, which I do post a lot of the stuff I find, that I see, or stuff that I think looks ridiculous, or stuff that's I think is priced a bit too dear. But that's just my opinion. But do check that out. Go and check out Paul Poo. Send a request, and if you pass the medical, you'll be in. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more crap coming up your back alley and all that schnizzle. Right, I got to bed. Ta-da.